and the threat is very much visible. Now, the panchayati members, the sarpanchs and panchayats I talked to, they want man-to-man security, which assuming is a huge number, even if we Bazar so that security environment is different. But really, it's the valley which is vital driven. It's a huge number of sarpanchs and panchs. And if they want man-to-man security, it's a huge number. Where you were going to get those numbers? But if assuming that you get, but doesn't it contradict your stand of reducing the footprint for the security purposes?
Well, I think don't confuse the two. Reducing the footprint of the security forces and reducing personal protection given to protectees are two different things. When we talk about reducing the footprint of the security forces, we're talking about the counterinsurgency grid and its presence in those areas where it's not required. In terms of personal protection being afforded to threatened people, that will continue to remain so long as there is even the hint of militancy in any part of the state. Now, as far as providing man-to-man protection, I've said that we will take whatever steps are necessary within the constraints that we have. We will do a detailed threat assessment of those panchs and sarpanchs who are in vulnerable areas, who are vulnerable to such attacks. And then, if need is felt for personal protection for these people, we will do that. We will have no hesitation. If it means thinning out security from some protected people in areas where they don't need it, I will have no hesitation in doing that. I see no reason why we should have large components of PSOs and security people in areas of Jammu where there is no threat, or for that matter, even in some parts of the valley where there is no threat, and yet allow these panchs and sarpanchs to feel a sense of insecurity or fear. So we'll correct that. You don't have to tell me what the number is. I know. As I've said, we will do a threat assessment, and if within our the constraint that we have, if we feel it is necessary to give manned protection, we'll do whatever has to be done.
Sir, how do you see these people now deciding to go to Delhi and deciding to go for a sit-in outside the parliament? And then we also heard that delegation is planning to go to meet Mr. Rahul Gandhi. How do you see these developments? Do you think that the conflict, or you may say the conflict between the coalition has led to the matters reaching this level that these people have to now go to Delhi to find out?
Who can stop them from going to Delhi? If they are in some way identified with that party, they're welcome to go wherever they like. I would be the last person to come in their way if they believe that they want to share their perception with their national level leaders. By all means, go ahead and share it. The fact of the matter is that that is the way certain political parties and certain systems function, and so be it.
From your army hasn't taken much time in releasing some information in New Delhi, in the district circles, that this is the time when more footprint should be increased, armed forces footprint should be increased in areas particularly that we are talking about. And also at the same time saying that, see, this is how, why we were saying an armed forces special powers act should not have been removed. Do you think it negates the entire argument?
No, I think it actually appears opportunistic to take advantage of this situation to make your own point, which doesn't get made by actually what has happened. I mean, the fact of the matter is that every indicator, even today, suggests that levels of violence this year are lower than last year. There is no rise in militancy. Let me be very categorical on this. Levels of violence in the state today are less than they were last year. And therefore, this whole argument that somehow we are sliding backwards and we need to increase the footprint of the security forces is unacceptable. And if that has happened, then please explain to me what you were doing on the border. Because if the numbers have gone up, then obviously the failure is not in the hinterland. The failure is on the line of control. And you need to explain how that has happened, because that is not within my scope of expertise. It's not my area of responsibility. So let me make it very clear. A, there has been no increase in levels of violence. B, we are not demanding the rollback of AFSPA from areas that are still prone to militancy. And therefore, to use the deaths of these sarpanches to make some sort of argument like this, I think is wrong.